What's going on YouTube? Sunny here, and as I'm recording this, we are on the eve of the finals of the 2022 Pokemon World Championships, which is the first World Championships in over 3 years since the pandemic has started. But, you know, IRL play is back, competitive play is back, and with that, the World Championships are back. Now, of course, you know, the World's Championships this year, there hasn't been too much diversity in the top 8. In fact, the finals is literally going to be a complete mirror match between Flying Pikachu and Flying Pikachu. So, in the mix, we were looking for some sort of variety this past weekend, and I believe I found it. And not only did I find it, but this is a deck that made 13th place at the World Championships on day 2. Just missing top cut by that much, but still a great performance nonetheless. Now, of course, we got ourselves an Arceus deck that did that. Of course, we all know what Arceus does, of course, but Arceus, for this deck, has himself a new partner, being Aggron VMAX. Now, when I found out about this, I had to think to myself, this card, really? I don't remember it being like the most playable card in the world, but turns out Adam Hawkins managed to make it to 13th place, went the distance with it, and here we are making this video. So you're probably thinking, like, what? How? How could Aggron VMAX be this good? So let's take a look at the card real quick. We'll dissect it, starting with the V, which the V actually caught my eye in the first place, which, you know, traditional metal, big beefy Pokemon, expensive attacks. Rock Slide is just 90 damage, and then 30 to your opponent's bench Pokemon. Nothing too major, nothing too serious. Now, Merciless Strike is what caught my eye, which is 150 damage for 5 energy. However, if your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, then it does 150 more damage, so that's 300 damage right there. And assuming that there's a double turbo in there, it'll probably go down to like 280. However, you know, cards like Choice Belt, which is of course prominent in this deck right here, can actually make the attack a lot beefier and take one-shots against Pokemon like Palkia V-STAR. It might even have a good shot at taking out a Mew VMAX if done right. So honestly, there's definitely one-shot potential here, and Aggron VMAX alone is a pretty beefy Pokemon. 330 HP is a hefty amount, which most Pokemon can't really approach that number. And say that we combine it with Big Charm right there, if we're not too worried about damage output, we can bring it up to 360 HP. So overall, Aggron VMAX is a pretty beefy Pokemon. Now, for Draw Engine, we have one copy of Crobat and a 2-2 line of a Bibarel. Yes, we're not working off of the Inteleon engine. In fact, this is a build that's working off of Bibarel for card draw. And then, of course, we've got other cards in here, such as Pumpkaboo, Pumpkin Pit, lets you discard a stadium in play. For example, you can always get rid of a Path of the Peak in play if you want to get off your own abilities before, you know, putting down your own path, locking them up again. Combo, rinse, and repeat. And some of the other cards are very straightforward. The supporter line is very straightforward in here. We've got 4 copies of Marnie, because of course with a deck like this, you don't really want to be discarding too much. And of course, going down to a smaller hand size means that you can go in conjunction with Bibarel to draw back up to a big hand size, given that your hand allows you to. We of course have 2 research in here, which, you know, not too heavy on the research. 3 copies of Boss, because, you know, we do like picking off cheap Pokemon for prizes. Going for the bench is nice. And of course, 2 copies of Raihan is in this deck, which I think 2 is a nice amount, given that, you know, Aggron VMAX's attacks and even Aggron V, it's pretty hefty to get to that point. So, you know, any and all energy acceleration is definitely a nice welcoming experience. And then, of course, our energy line for this is 8 metal, 4 double turbo, and a capture energy to round things out. Now, keep in mind for this video that I haven't had a chance to play with this deck yet. This deck is literally just, you know, fresh off its finish. So I'm not sure a lot of people had a chance to really test this out for themselves, see how it runs, see how it works. But we're going to try it today and see how it goes. So why don't we take it over to the ladder. Alright, we'll see what the coin flip does for us. So we're going to go first, we go on second. Let us find out. Just waiting on them. And there we go. Okay, cool. And we're going second. So going second, obviously what we're going to be looking for in this scenario is probably Arceus with double turbo, which we do have, and hopefully, you know, get another attacker out and play while we're at it. I think that's a pretty decent spot to try to get in. The Zigzagoon start, I wouldn't really call it ideal. So we'll just see where it goes from there. I did see Choice Belt and 2 Psychic Energy. This could be a Lunatone Soul Rock deck. If, you know, what I've seen out of decks is what I've seen, then this could be just that. Alright, and no, it's going to be the Shadow Rider version. It's going to be Shadow Rider VMAX, might be with Mewtwo. We'll see. We'll definitely see. This is definitely one of those curveball decks that sometimes makes an appearance, but it's not exactly popular in any way. Honestly, I wouldn't play it, but okay, they're playing with Arceus. Okay. You know, it just goes to show you can put Arceus with anything. Alright, so maybe not the most active turn from my opponent, but we'll see. Alright, so we're going to go Ultra Ball. I'm thinking here, because I do want to get Arceus V going right away. I think we'll pitch Ultra Ball, and I think it might be the Raihan. We'll do it like that. Alright, and we'll see what's available to us. We've got all of our Aggron pieces right there. So we'll go ahead and go for V. Looks like we've got just a V prized. We've got a Bidoof prized as well. Let's see what else we got going on. We do have our Scoop Up Net. Looks like there's a Choice Belt in the prizes, and looks like 2 Metal Energy are prized. So 2 Metal Energy, a Bidoof, and a Arceus V looks like to be our prizes. At least the ones I notice anyway. And a Path of the Peak it looks like as well. Now, honestly, if we get a Path of the Peak immediately, we can actually get our own control over to the game, since again we are running Pumpkaboo in the deck, so we can probably hit Path, and then when we want to use our VSTAR ability, we can actually find the Pumpkaboo to bump, and then go from there. Alright, so we did end up with a lot of Pokemon in our hand, which is interesting. It's not a strong hand, unfortunately. Alright, but yeah, we're gonna go Trinity Charge. We're gonna grab all these energies. I think... Yeah, we'll grab the 3. And then I think we'll go... We could just focus everything on Aggron for now. Yeah, let's focus on the Aggron. Let's see where that gets us. Because the Aggron is the thing that's most likely to live if everything goes right for us. But again, our hand is not strong at all. That's kind of the penalty for playing one of these decks, as opposed to using, you know, Arceus with Inteleon, where you've got more versatility, you've got more options. Whereas, you know, Bibarel is just straight draw. I'm not discounting Bibarel in any way. Again, there's just a reason why people run the Inteleon engine over Bibarel. But in this deck, I will admit it does make sense to be running Bibarel here. I can honestly tell, like, you know, space might have been tight in this deck. So we'll see for sure. This is going to be... They're going to get Crobat here, which is interesting. I'm surprised they didn't try to go for the Arceus VSTAR. Don't see it. Not yet, anyway. Okay, they're gonna Fog Crystal. Might be for another Calyrex. Oh no. Okay, so they are playing it with that. Okay. Alright, they're gonna Marnie S, which thank goodness, because this hand was not good. This was not a good hand for us. Alright, this is already looking a lot better. We do have options, so we'll just have to see where that takes us. Honestly, if we can, if they don't get a V-Star in play, we could try to knock out their V and limit their options while that set of prizes is there for us. Once it gets up to a V-Star, that's going to be a lot harder unless we set up our Aggron. We'll see what happens, though. Okay, they did get the V-Star. So that changes things up quite significantly. So I think here we might just have to go for the Aggron. And what we're going to have to do here is, so we got the double turbo that we can put onto the Aggron. And then with this, we're going to draw with Crobat. Yeah, we're definitely going to draw with Crobat since they just put the training court down. So they can't use like Path of the Peak or anything like that. Not that they would anyway, since their deck is more reliant on abilities. And we'll see what this does for us. I still don't know how to feel about this kind of build, honestly. I don't know how to feel about this. It looks like they're doing a lot. Alright, so, yep, 180, and we'll see where those energies go. Alright, so, yeah, I think we will go for the knockout on the V-Star. Alright, we actually ended up with a Bibarel. That was actually a really nice top deck, so I think we will go here first. We're going to use our Crobat. Draw up. Okay. This hand, I like this hand. There's a lot of options here. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away this and this. Get ourselves the V-Star. Now I think here, I'm thinking I might want to, I'm trying to do math. Wait, I'm trying to do math. 10. Okay, so I think we're gonna go Quick Ball into nothing. And I'm actually going to Industrious Incisors before I decide to use Starbirth. I'm going to do that first to see what we get. Okay, so I think here now we're going to Starbirth. That's going to get us the Scoop Up Net, and we need to get the Belt. I think this is pretty much the full extent to where we need to be for the knockout. Actually going for the Calyrex on the bench. We'll see if I did math correctly. I think I did. But we'll see. So we're going to put this here. We do unfortunately need to manually retreat. Can't keep that in the active, sadly. And we'll Training Court this back before we put down our Path of the Peak. Scoop Up Net here. We'll ping the active. Merciless Strike. And yeah, that was actually exactly 310. That worked out perfectly. We did get a big threat off the board. And on top of that, we get 3 prizes just from that alone. Now, aside from the Lunatone, the only other attack they have is the Arceus. That depends if they want to go into that yet. We'll see what they do here. They might just do the... Okay, they're going to go right into the Arceus, actually. which is definitely interesting. They can either hit our V-Star right, or our we'll just scoop actually. Okay, so never mind. So you can see right here, just out of nowhere, how just literally just the Aggron V, the regular Aggron V, can just sneak up and do that much damage. Honestly, proving that Arceus can be a good companion for Aggron. Alright, let's see what the coin flip does for us this time. Opponent's calling it again, and we lost the coin flip again. Because, you know, the game does just like it when I like to go second. Game loves it, having me go second. That's all there is to it. Alright, and the hand is not, this hand's not that good. There's a quick ball, but like, what do we get is the issue. Alright, looks like we're playing against Reggie's. Good old single prize deck. Which I'm pretty sure that's not what we want to see either. To be honest, like, Reggie's did make a fair amount of appearances at the World Championships this year. I saw some noteworthy players were playing it, so I might actually be featuring one of the Reggie decks that I saw on another video. I'm going to try to get out as many World Championship videos as possible. See where it goes. Alright, looks like they've already got a pretty solid start. They've got 4 out of the 6 Reggies in play. Some card draw early on, and just a pass. Okay, so let's attach that there. Well, as luck would have it, our discard is actually an easy choice. Alright, we do have Crobat. We have Crobat, but it feels like a liability. We're going to go for it anyway. And I think here we'll just... we'll just boss out the Gigas and then Dark Asset. Now, of course, only because they do run Gigas, it's pretty much not going to be in our best interest to put down Aggron VMAX at all. Nor will it be to put down Path of the Peak. So those are some easy cards to discard. And I think we go with another attacker. Only got one Aggron available. I mean, honestly, if we just focus on Arceus here, I think that might be enough just for a matchup like this. I don't think Aggron would be in our best interest here, which, I mean, you're gonna think that's like silly, you know, oh, isn't like the focus of this deck supposed to be Aggron? In a way, yeah, it is, but I mean, like, you know, if Aggron's not gonna be important in any way or shape or form, then why are we gonna bother with it? Why are we gonna put down something that takes more energy to power up, just to one-shot something when Arceus does the job anyway? We're gonna have to do a little bit of juggling, though, is the problem, because this deck does not play Sharon's Care at all, which is gonna matter. Alright, let's see what they get here. Research. They still only have 1 energy in the discard. So not a lot of energies yet, but I guess it just depends on what the rest of their hand's looking like. If they keep hitting blanks like this, we might be okay, but we'll see. Alright, quick ball. They did get an energy in the discard. That's gonna get the Reggie. I think that's actually all they needed anyway. Pretty sure, yeah. 1, 2... and then they just need to attach an energy, which they can do. Ooh, they have Path of the Peak. That's not good. Alright. So, we do have the Marnie, unfortunately. The fact that they weren't able to attack is actually nice, though. It's still not enough for a knockout. We didn't even get... we needed the V-Star there in order to take the knockout, but it didn't happen. So, why don't we quick ball away you, the Bidoof. We'll hold on to the other quick... We're going to hold on to the other quick ball, though. Obviously. We'll just Power Edge. Yeah, so this is actually, again, what I don't like about Arceus decks that work off the Bibarel engine. Again, there's like less control over your setup in a way. Bibarel's just straight up draw, but you know, with Drizzles and Inteleons, you're actually able to like set up your plays as you like to, which is usually more favorable in a way. But again, I do understand the concept of Bibarel though, and it's not like the worst. Alright. Let's see what they have. I'm actually surprised they didn't even use the ability last turn. This kind of surprised me a little bit. They could have if they wanted to, but I guess it's still best to just save it. Alright, so they're going to Scoop Up Net. That's unfortunate. Alright, thankfully they don't have the Knockout. Not just yet, but they're literally like out-tempoing us in every way, shape, and form. Which is not what we want to see. Didn't get anything off the heavy ball. Probably just wanted to draw the extra card. Because I get, like, they have their setup. They have the setup, they've got all the energies in play that they need. So they're good to go. Huh. That's not good. I still want to hold on to this quick ball though. We'll just leave it in the active. I don't think like pivoting to the bench is probably the best move either, because you know they can still snipe it with Regieleki. Not to mention, like, getting another Arceus damaged up is probably not going to be the ideal play either. That's all there is to it. Alright. Alright, let's bring this up, see what happens. Hopefully something, because we've needed... Alright. Alright. That can do something. Just trying to think about what I want to do with this hand, though. Yes, I think we quick ball this away. Grab our Pumpkaboo. And then... I mean, actually, no, that was a misplay. We should have actually... No, that was still fine. Not ideal, but it was fine. Alright, well, Raihan... We're pulling the Crobat. That was like the cheapest retreat, and, you know, if just in case, we can actually use it as a pivot. Alright, so let's go here. We're gonna go Starbirth. Let's get Bibarel, and let's get another Arceus in play. Let's get that going. I still think the prize tempo is in their favor, though, but hopefully we get something going. Them getting their setup faster than we did was very impactful. Alright, unless Industrious Incisors, so things are picking up a little bit. Alright, and I think here, at this stage in the game, the Aggron seems fine. And then... because we have double turbo right here. Alright. Cool, we're good to go. We'll just power up this one over here. And be good. We have double turbo for the other Arceus in place, so... we'll see what happens there. Hand's still too big, though, is the problem. And they've got Regirock. Regirock's definitely knocking us out. Assuming they've got their setup, which they should. They just need to, yeah, bench that. That was literally in their hand. Might be Aggron's time to shine. It just might be. Let me see. Are we doing 130? Should be doing, yeah, 130 after we put double turbo on there. That's still safer to put into play than this. They can just one-shot it with another Regirock. Whereas, you know, Aggron over here doesn't even have any weaknesses to that deck at all. The only issue we would have had is if we put the VMAX in play and then Regigigas could have one-shot that. Alright, well, they did get another Path of the Peak in play, so it doesn't matter for us at this point. We've used all the abilities we could possibly use. Alright, bringing that up. Alright. And we'll just Marnie here. A little late, but it's alright. Alright. Not gonna need Path at all. We still have a Goon, but nothing to really ping at the moment. I'll get to that. Okay. And we'll have ways to get at Goon out eventually. Right there. Yeah, we definitely don't like dealing with single prize decks. We can't really out-tempo them, sadly. We're only taking one prize at a time, where they're just going ham each and every chance they get. Yeah, they got their board all over again. They're probably going to, if I had to guess, if they're bringing up Regice, then they're probably just going to Blizzard Bind. And then we can't attack with the Aggron, which is super unfortunate from our standpoint. Alright, okay, so we actually have... If only the retreat wasn't so high, that's the problem. That high retreat cost is just astronomical. We need to thin this out a lot. Alright, so let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything. Alright, so I think let's discard the boss, and I'm gonna need Switch at the very least. Start the capture. Alright, let's grab Goon. Alright, so that's all. There's only one Switch in the deck. We do run 2 copies, but I think the other copy is in the prizes if we didn't already discard it. Let me just double check. Yeah, so we still have the other copy of Switch. It's just in the prizes. So I think here we've only got one Bibarel drill to work with. There's only one. Do I just... Alright, we got the Crobat with the energy on it, so I think we can just get away with doing this play right here. Do that, and then the only problem is if they get an energy, they just knock this out and that's game. That's the issue. So I think what we have to do is just push for the other double turbo if we can. There's still one left in the deck. Which we didn't get, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. But we still have this to sort of hang on a bit. And I think we'll just switch into Crobat. We did get the switch, though. And we did get a Marnie. See what we get. Yeah, they're just gonna have us like running circles at this point. 60, which that's still like Regidrago still one-shots the Aggron anyway, so kind of meaningless. All right, we'll just knock that out. That's all we can really do. Again, it's like we don't really have much to work with, especially when like we're only taking like one prize at a time. When you know their attacks can just take two. And there's the Regirock. Yeah, this probably was not. This is probably not the best matchup for us. And again, all they need to do is just get a Regice in play, and then that's game over, which they're going to. Yeah, we struggled bad on that one. Again, like dealing with a single prize attacker, probably just. I wouldn't call that ideal. Just gonna put that out there. Would not call it ideal. And there it is. Yeah, it is what it is. There really wasn't too much we can do there, honestly. Aside hoping they bricked still, that was about it. But they weren't really bricking at all. Just that one little shot they had. We were the ones bricking there. But again, like the prize exchange was still not the best for us, I'd say. It's alright, we'll try again though. Oh, look at that, we won the coin flip. We actually get to go first this time. Alright, let's not let going first go to waste here. Okay. Okay, I think we can gel well with this hand. We'll just see what we're playing against. Alright, we are going against Palkia. That's fine. Again, I think Palkia is a deck that we would like to see. And I think here... Let's... Quick ball away this. We're gonna get our Bibarel going right away. It seems kind of funny and almost poetic that we keep prizing like one of our Bidoofs each and every one of these games. I actually noticed that. Alright, we do have, looks like we've got all the Pokemon. Got our Scoop Up Net. Got our paths. I don't see anything too noteworthy in the prizes. We did, looks like we're prizing some energy though. Prizing two of the, what's his face? Two of the metal energies. I think that's all I noticed. Looks like there's a Marnie in the prizes as well. Okay. Yeah, usually if I can't like recognize the prizes half the time, then nothing too major is in there. And we're usually just good to go. So, assuming we can get this lined up correctly, we've got the Choice Belt, we've got the Bibarel. From there, we would just need a VSTAR and a Goon to take the early knockout on this Palkia. We'll see if we can make it happen, of course. And I think locking their abilities early on is going to help us out as well if we can get there. I definitely don't want to let this nice start we had go to waste. Oh. That's different. Let's just level ball. Let's just level ball that and pass. Alright. Well, Industrial Synthesizers now. See what we get. And we did get the energy. We'll go here, here. We just need VSTAR and Goon. That'll complete everything we need. And we ended up getting everything we needed there. So we're gonna go here. And let's go... Double check. Yeah. We're gonna Pumpkin Pit. Start. We win. And that was a quick one. We sort of took advantage of the fact that A, we went first, and B, they just were not off to a great start. Alright. Let's see what we get. Okay. Now we're back to going second again. That's how you know we're back home. We're going second. All right. We'll make it work though. Arceus double turbo other attacker. Go. Oh, of course, got a Bidoof in play as well. We need to draw some cards. All right. This is definitely a hand. Not a very good one, but it's a hand. The rest depends on what we're going to be playing against. I do see a Bidoof. See what's going to be. Looking like Arcfine Pika. I saw them discard a Phoebe, so there's got to be some Flying Pika business going on over here. And they're already off to the races, it seems. Got the early Flying Pika in play. And a pass. Okay. Let's go ahead and... I know we definitely want to put the Bidoof in play. We definitely... Let's put Aggron in play as well. We'll capture energy to grab another Arceus. In the probably likely event, we'll lose this one. Actually, no. We probably won't lose this one. I mean, it depends if they run the deck differently, but we'll see. Let's see, 2 of those. Prizing some energy is never fun. Alright, but it looks like... I don't notice anything too particular about these prizes right here. They seem basic to me. We do need to draw out of this, though. This is not a very powerful hand, to say the least. Kind of hoping they just Marnie us, but that probably won't happen here. They got their early VSTAR, and that's going to already put them over to the top right here. They can get a switch, do something like maybe like a switch and a Path to Peak of their own to shut us down. That's always, like, again, like the savage thing about playing this kind of deck right here, this kind of build of Arceus, is, again, you do get a decent amount of just bricky hands, whether you like it or not. Let's see what they get here. They haven't played anything else yet, so I gotta assume they're just dead set on what they're doing here. Alright, well, they did get Path of the Peak. I knew that was a given. And probably just a switch card on top of that. And no, they didn't get... They didn't get a switch card at all. I'm surprised, actually. Why did they not, why didn't they do that? Alright, well... Let's just go ahead and Trinity Charge. Alright. Again, we do have some energies in the prizes. I think we had all of our double turbos, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we do have them all. But the fact that they didn't like do anything else after the Starbirth, that raises an obvious question as to what's going on here. I have to see for sure, but they did get the double turbo, and then they found a research. They had to have top decked that. There's no two ways about it. They definitely top decked that. Okay, so yeah, we need to start picking up some steam here. This hand doesn't exactly portray that in any way, so we'll see what happens. We haven't played anything. Nothing's like even in the discard pile for us. That's how very low of action we've got happening here. Alright, we got Raihan, but that doesn't do anything for us, unfortunately. We might just have to boss stall. Yeah. We're gonna have the boss stall here. And we've only got... So we're going to go one here, one there. We have the Raihan. So... that's going to have to get us to where we need to be. Alright. They're gonna Marnie us. I'm actually kind of shocked that they actually are gonna Marnie us here. We didn't have anything for the longest time. I'm surprised they did that. Alright, well. Alright, we do have the Aggron VMAX. But it's not the right time for it, though, if that makes any sense. Getting those early prizes definitely hurts a bit. No boss's orders played also is kind of annoying. We kind of just need to go for the knockout here. Let's see what we got. Another Marnie. So, I think... we Evo Incense for the Bibarel. We'll get the Bibarel. And then... that's going to go there. I don't know if we should VMAX right away, though, is the question. Actually, maybe we should just VMAX right away. Get it over with. We'll Marnie. And then, there's nothing really going on in this hand. I hate to say it. I think we were better off just... let's go ahead and ping. We literally drew all of our Path of the Peaks. That is extremely frustrating. We drew all of our paths. I'm trying to think. I could risk it and just go Pumpkaboo right away. But I don't see the helpfulness there. Because then we still need to hit the V-Star to just get stuff we need. We're still in a bit of a tight spot right there. It might have to be what we do, though. See, I think here... let's Pumpkaboo. Let's do that, yep. I think we Big Charm on the Arceus. And then... Industrial Synthesizers. Sounds good. Hopefully. Okay. That is helpful. So we're going to go Ultra Ball 1, 2. Get this. We'll Starbirth. Getting... make sure... where is it? I just when I saw it. There it is. Choice Belt for sure. And... I think we can actually go Scoop Up Net. I'm going to try to line up the VMAX that they already have set up for a knockout. I think we hold on to... we might as well just... they don't heal in this deck, so... go there. And then we'll put down the path again. And just go for a max takedown. Fortunately, that's going to do some damage to us, but... at least we get our knockout. Again, it could have been easier if we just had no VMAX in play. We probably could have done it without it. Again, you know, this deck is still extremely brand new. I'm not sure a lot of people have played it yet. So, you know, we're still getting used to the ropes and all of it. That's what you gotta do sometimes when you want to learn a lot of these decks that have done work, is test them out, see how they go. Alright, so at the very least, I'm seeing our line of play that's going to take us to victory. So notice that we've got the Flying Pika on the bench with 2 damage on it. We still have a Goon in our deck. We just fetch the Goon, boss that up, knock that out. We do have that there. And we still have a Boss's Orders in our deck as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach, boss out that. Industrious Incisors for 3. See what that does. Okay. Okay. Let's Ultra Ball away these. This is going to get us our other Goon. And then the following turn, they're going to probably knock out our Aggron with the Pika. I think that's pretty evident right there. So then coming up, we're just going to need an energy. And that's going to take our last knockout. Alright. There we go. Barring any kind of like Marnie plays they've got. If they Marnie us, then we just gotta hope we have a way to randomize the deck. But for the most part, if they don't, then we're fine. We'll just have to see what happens, though. Alright, Ultra Ball. They did 1 Industrious Incisor so far. They're pitching Marnie. Huh, this is interesting. Okay, so they're going Pumpkaboo here? That was interesting. They didn't... They probably just forgot to play it? I'm really curious about what happened there, but all I know is that we do have that and the boss for the knockout. And that's going to give us the game right there. Alright, so we did get a good game in with this deck. That's actually what we like to see. I like that. It can work. I may have made some questionable plays, but I think there's potential there for sure. I think we just played this person. I guess we're about to find out. Did we already play this person? The name looks kind of familiar. We'll see, though. And I think even the coin looks familiar while we're at it. That's the case. We're about to find out. We did see this person before. But I don't remember us finishing this game, though. I mean, if that's the case, then I think this is one of these games that didn't make the cut for those watching this. If this game makes the cut, then I think the game that got cut was against this person, and yeah. Alright, so we have all of our Path of the Peaks, which is going to be kind of important here. We've got... Doesn't look like we have any Pokemon missing. We are missing a V-Star, though. That's not available to us. We also... Alright. I don't notice anything too sketch. So I think we're good. Alright. If Duraludon stays in the active, then I think what we're going to need here is... definitely going to be Path and Goon for sure. We do have an Ultra Ball on hand to get us our what's-his-face, but it'll be fine. Actually, we actually have the knockout on the Arceus. We can slow them down significantly here. Alright, I feel like I've got to do this correctly, though. There's definitely a sequencing for sure. Alright, let's... We're definitely going to Ultra Ball here. I feel like we need to Ultra Ball. Alright, and that's going to be for the V-Star. Double Turbo is one of the cards we need. Alright, so let's Starbirth. The Double Turbo, and I think here we can actually, in good conscience, grab Bibarel. Because we have the Quick Ball in hand, so that's a guaranteed good no matter what. So, at least with Bibarel, we get ourselves some card draw in play, which is rather important. Just as important as, you know, slowing down their entire setup. So we're going to boss. We're going to go here. Attach the Double Turbo. Industrious Incisors. Maybe we'll get the Goon right away. And we didn't, but that's fine. You know, it's okay. Based on this hand, we don't have a way to put down another Arceus, so that's going to be the safe discard right there for the Goon. And right out the gates, we're just going to slow them down a lot. And sometimes that's all it takes for the win. I still want to get a longer game. Cutting it close though. Alrighty, and we are not winning the coin flip, but of course, that's usually how we roll. Alright, so we are starting Arceus though. Now, based on what they are playing themselves, and it's gonna be Arceus Tapu Koko, which is actually a variant of this deck that we don't really see a lot of. It's a pretty okay deck. We just don't really see it in like huge waves. Again, people just prefer flying Pika better, which is understandable. Alright, so I think this is a weird hand. This is a very weird hand that we've got going on here. Because, like, I don't know if I can, like, confidently discard anything with Ultra Ball. That's my whole thing. I'm not very confident in my Ultra Ball discard. Alright, so I think what we're going to do... I mean, obviously this is like a failed search. We're just seeing what's in deck. I don't see anything noteworthy. Alright, one of the switches is prized though. That can be a big deal. And we did prize 2 of our stadiums. Again, that could be an issue as well. Okay. I feel like I have to Ultra Ball here though. I don't want to. But if this gets knocked out, then we're sort of just sitting still. Alright. It's gonna have to be a V-Star and the Goon. I feel like that's honestly the best thing we could discard there. We could Crobat, but Crobat's risky. Crobat's definitely a risky play. I think we're gonna do it though. I think we kind of have to. Based on the hand we have, we kind of need to go for the Crobat here. Okay. We did still get another Arceus though. That's fine. But again, we're in essence relying on something getting knocked out, or like this getting knocked out, just for us to use Raihan. It's definitely... we'll see what happens there. Again, I'm not really happy about the Crobat being in play. That's an easy 2 prizes if they just literally just go energy boss on the Crobat. And that already swings the momentum in their favor. I will say, though, that being behind on prizes wouldn't be the worst anyway, because then Coco VMAX wouldn't be able to go to their full effect. And they're actually going to Trinity Charge here, which is interesting. It's not what we were expecting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our V-Star going. We do have access to Starbirth, which is good. Alright, so we're going to Starbirth. Now, our issue here, however, is we don't have all the pieces. We do have the pieces. We can just go Turbo and Belt. Because that only has 200 HP. So I think... yeah, I think we'll go Turbo Belt. I was kind of like overthinking it a little bit. Just slightly. Yeah, like if we can slow these up as much as possible, then I think we'll be in good shape. And we'll get another Bidoof down. And Trinity Nova. No Aggron in play. No Aggron in play. So my overall conclusion, or at least part of the conclusion, is like, yeah, it's another Arceus deck with a companion. That's about it. And the companion itself is okay, to say the least. But, you know, I still gotta give, you know, credit where credit's due. Adam did take this deck to a top 13 finish at the World Championships. So, you know, good on for that. Okay, so we did play a few games with this deck, at least as many as I could put up, try to get some good ones, and hopefully I gave a good idea of how the deck could run and does run in a way. Overall, I think the deck, I think it's okay. You know, maybe not the way I would particularly play Arceus with anybody, but, you know, like I said before, Adam did take this to a 13th place finish at Worlds, and that was definitely in a sea of like Palkia decks, which he kind of like fed off of in the first place. And you can actually see the power of just Aggron V alone can just take those big knockouts. It is 5 energies, but, you know, I think he has the HP going for it. The HP is what makes Aggron a pretty decent partner for it, but again, you know, not my choice as far as pairing Arceus with anybody. However, within seeing this deck, obviously there is changes we can make along the way if, you know, we even decide to carry on this deck, or if this deck even still sees play moving forward into next season. Of course, we do have regionals starting up again next month, and the Worlds format is going to carry over to Baltimore regionals to kick things off with the season, just before Lost Origin becomes legal. But with that, if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like what you saw. Hopefully I described this video as best I could, or maybe not the video, but maybe I described this deck as best I could. Playing it for the first time and observing what it could do, what lines of play you can take, and all that stuff in between. And, you know, like I said, this isn't my list, but let's just say if this was your list, let me know what you would change about it in the chat, what kind of changes or fixes you would make to it if you were the one playing it, or if you would just like to just hit the delete button and forget the deck even existed. Whatever you feel like you want to say about it, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section down below. But yeah, that is all for this video. And of course, if you haven't already heard, or if you're just coming here for the first time, my primary content is over on Twitch. If you want to follow me on Twitch, that is twitch.tv/TheRealSunnyGames. I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can find me. That is primarily where I make my content in general. I do stream 5 days a week, except for Thursdays and Saturdays. And of course, you know, we do these kinds of things all night where we do viewer battles, we do giveaways and stuff like that. And I also do run my own weekly tournament series on Mondays. If you're interested in that, I'll also leave my organizer link down in the description below also. But that'll do it for this video today. I'm going to try to get out another video from a World Championships deck on my next one. I'll try to do that as fast as possible. We'll see how it goes. But until then, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll catch y'all next time.